Hello, everyone, and Katribu. I am Dina Ventura,
I'm Poch Concepcion.
and welcome to Spotlight.
Spotlight.
So, Poch,
How are you?
okay.
Doing okay?
Yes, I
Okay.
am. And we're missing Jojo Silvestre,
Yeah.
whose
I'm.
birthday is today.
Yes. Happy birthday,
Let's
Jojo. I'm sitting in
greet-
for him.
Yes, let's greet him happy birthday. So, Poch, we have an exciting afternoon ahead of us.
Yeah.
A conversation with a woman of power.
A woman of power. All
Well,
right. I like women of power.
so to speak, because not only because of her position in her industry,
All right.
in the corporation that she heads, but because she is a woman of energy, the energy sector.
Yeah.
Yes, so ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the president and asset manager of UC38 LLC, a subsidiary of Udena Corporation, Belinda Racela.
Good
Hi.
afternoon.
Welcome.
Good afternoon, Dina and Poch. Thank you for having me in your show.
So, Belinda, it's very nice to meet you. I've never met anybody in the energy sector, let alone a woman in the
Oh,
energy sector.
yeah. Oh.
So, how have you been in this pandemic? How have you been?
Oh, we've been very good. We've been working from home since March of last year.
Wow. Talaga. And I heard that that's around the time that you took over as president of UC38. Is that correct?
Yes, UC38. Now, just to correct that small misconception, I've been the president of UC38, formerly called Chevron Malampaya LLC, since 2016 when I came back from Jakarta. So, just for everybody's knowledge, this is the same entity that has been in partner with Shell Philippines Exploration and PNOCEC in the Malampaya asset since 2000. So we're the same entities, just that Udena came in March to buy the shares of Chevron in Chevron Malampaya, and we have changed our name to UC38. So what Udena has done really is to provide us a platform and continuity to co-manage the asset to provide safe, reliable, sustainable energy to the country.
Okay, so you've been handling that position pala for for many years already.
Tagal na.
That's right.
Oo, tagal
That's
na.
right.
But still, when the pandemic happened, that must have been something new to you, like for everyone else. So, what was running through your mind at that time?
Well, first off, at the time, is how to transition the team from Chevron to Udena. We were shut down. We were on lockdown March 16. Our anniversary date was March 11. So that's just a couple of working days of us trying to move our systems from one company to the other. So that was a little bit of a panic time, but with the support of Udena's information technology team, they were able to put us online as soon as possible. So thank you to them and their support. So that is where we were at.
Okay.
Belinda, what led you to the energy sector industry?
Hey, gagawin nating personal ng konti yan because at one point in your life, you think about whether you are in a good place. So at one point, I thought I was going to be in the academe. I'll take the academic route. But after some thinking, said that, okay, let me try to get out of my comfort zone and try the energy industry. And that is because my friends and my colleagues, my classmates have gone through the energy sector. And I said, and I followed suit. And that was back in 1991.
So, but in your family, are you the only one in the energy sector, or do you have other members of your family in science as well?
I'm the only one in the energy sector, but my sisters, And my siblings are all in the sciences. My oldest sister is a statistician. My second sister is a food technologist. My brothers are in engineering. So the except for my younger sister who went into AB psychology, but she is now a banker out in the States. So we are really in the most of us are in the sciences.
Okay,
Why do
so
you, why? The science is a very relevant
special.
subject now. Medicine.
Oo
Oh,
nga.
although related, no?
Okay, I will give the credit to my parents. At the time when we were growing, our generation, it's our parents who choose our
Course.
courses. Back then, as I always say when they ask me how did you get into physics, which I went into, because my dad said kung hindi ka makakapasok ng UP, wag ka muna pumasok, ha? So,
Oh,
that's tough, right? So,
pressure.
Hmm.
we come from humble beginnings, so we have to make sure that we are. But at the same time, they want us to excel. They want us to be our parents wanted us to be in a field that they feel that we are going to excel in. So hats off to my parents for pushing me towards the sciences, for pushing all of us to the sciences.
Talaga. Grabe, mahirap yung subject na yan, ah.
Oh, yeah, were you mahilig ka talaga sa science, Belinda?
Yes, because between art and science, sa science ako. I think art is very difficult. So it's art and it's the liberal arts. I cannot express myself the way others would do it. So I'm better with science where there is a solution.
Ayun. Parang,
You just have
Oo.
to go through it. Although it's science is an art in itself. I always consider that because you have to be creative and innovative in terms of problem solving. So
oo nga. You have to be.
pareho lang yan. Pero hindi lang ako nasa soft side. Hindi ko yata kaya yung painting arts, the broadcast. What you do, I think it's very difficult.
Parang we think the same way about you. So,
Our own challenges
di
talaga.
ba? Parang, ano yung left brain, right brain yun, di ba?
Yeah.
Uh, you taught for 5 years in the Institute of Physics in UP. Tell us a
Yes.
little bit about those years of teaching. Did you get a lot of female students? Because personally, as a woman, parang I wouldn't think of physics or the sciences
Yeah.
as a path I would choose. So
Yes.
it's a mystery for me to see women pursuing that. So parang can you tell us a little bit about the students that you taught?
Ay, nako. The students, if you are familiar with the subjects that I taught in UP at the time are for those taking BS biology, and engineering. So,
Okay.
and also in the natural sciences, nagturo din ako ng natural sciences with focus on physics. Now, admittedly, I only look at them as students. It's never been an issue for me whether you are male, female. You are a student to me. You make sure that you study and come to my class. So
Tama.
that is the focus in my mind, and I hope and I was focused on making sure that what I say is very clear and help you out in understanding and appreciating physics more. So that was the mindset. So
Okay.
counting how many women are in my class was not something that I really focused on.
Okay. The
Mhm.
reason I asked that is because while I was reading up on the industry, I came across mga physics, di ba? Physics, physicists. Not
Mhm.
a lot of female physicists in the world.
Mhm.
So,
Are women.
are women.
Oh,
And
okay.
but
Yeah.
there are a lot like Marie Curie,
Mm.
mga ganon,
Yes.
di ba?
Mm.
Sa Philippines, I don't know. I have no idea.
Mga
Yeah.
scientist is the typical ano no,
Oo.
lalaki.
Oo.
Totoo ba 'yun, Belinda? Or marami na ngayong
Hindi naman siguro may katotohanan din yan,
Mhm.
no? I think statistics will show that there are really more men in the field than women, but hopefully that changes through time. If I look into the physics alumni and students, I see that there are a lot of women in physics now. So I'm glad to see that, and also in engineering. It's still not enough.
Mm.
I still hope that there will be more women to get into the basic sciences and engineering and mathematics
Mm.
and technology. So it's something that I think is an exciting field to get into.
Yes,
Mhm.
especially the energy field, di ba? Kasi I think
Oh
a lot of
yes.
people can't really put a face on it, di ba?
Mm.
Parang all you know about it is the news.
Yeah.
So now, here's somebody who works, di ba, at the
The
top,
face,
the
the
face.
boss.
How did you
Ganun
shift
ba?
from
Nako.
education to energy? How did you make that move?
Oo nga.
Yeah,
From the
I
academe to
actually academe to the energy.
Mm.
As I said earlier on, at one point in time you have to think whether this is the right place for you,
Mm.
and that was my thought process. 5 years into the academe, I was taking my master's in science coursework. I was teaching physics, and I was getting into material science and biophysics, all this highfalutin physics stuff. But at one point, you ask yourself, is this really for me?
Mm.
Mhm.
And I said, let me try and get out of my comfort zone. I've been very comfortable in the academe. Let me try to get out of my comfort zone and approached a couple of friends and see if my credentials will be enough for me to get into the energy business. And that is when I got into
You
the
know.
geothermal
Mhm.
business. I became a reservoir engineer, so they
Wow.
hired me as a
Mhm.
reservoir engineer in the geothermal business.
O, di ba?
Another
Parang,
highfalutin word.
di ba yung reservoir
Okay.
engineer? Parang mga hard hat and
Mm.
boots.
Oo.
Di ba? Parang ganun.
True. That
Okay.
is
Yeah.
true. So we went to the field. We went to the field, and it was a very good experience.
Mhm.
So it's both the geothermal and natural gas businesses. I just had a very good time.
Okay.
Oo.
My 30 years have just passed through like a blink of an
Oh,
eye.
that's the
Mhm.
best. That's the best sign that you're enjoying what you're doing, di ba?
Very much so, yes.
Okay, Belinda, now you're in the thick of the action. You're the boss, you're the
Yes.
top executive in a company that plays a crucial role in the country's energy needs. Tell us,
Yeah.
how are we better off, like say 10 years ago? What is the state of the energy condition of the country? Like, yeah, geothermal specifically.
uh, and natural
Natural
gas.
gas.
Let me. Okay, so if you have, I hope you have time to do this. So those for us in the energy sector, it is our duty to provide energy safely and reliably at all times. However, as we enter the summer months, demand for power will increase, and this is likely to coincide with about 2,000 to 3,000 megawatts of power being unavailable in the system.
Mhm.
Now, to mitigate this situation, the National Grid Corporation will request the natural gas plants to increase output. Now, we mentioned about Malampaya being a finite source of energy. and is at that point where it's already operating at or near peak capacity.
Oh.
Now, I'd like to zone in on Malampaya and has produced reliably since 2001, but and is now declining. So we are we are at a stage that we really need to think seriously, not only think, act with urgency to address our energy security. So because as it takes a long time to put energy infrastructure, to put up an energy infrastructure. It takes 10 years at the minimum from discovery of a well to commercialization. And Malampaya actually took 13 years from discovery to commercialization. So it's not that easy to put energy infrastructure in the country, especially if we want to focus on clean, reliable, sustainable, indigenous energy. So it is a challenge. So what we are hoping is that we continue to leverage on Malampaya's success and to continue this with the Department of Energy and find innovative solutions to close the gap between power and demand and supply, power demand and supply. So that is personally my ask. So hopefully we get there. So with your support, making this with your support and everybody's support in the industry, we hope to do that. But it's something, our energy security needs action.
So we're
There
not
is,
getting enough action, you're saying.
We have a problem, but you,
yes, we need to push more. The pandemic is really slowing us down, but we'll have to push more.
Konting ano pa.
okay.
Konting push.
Yeah, but you make it sound like no.
Ano?
We have a problem, but you make it sound like it's solvable.
Yeah,
It
so
is.
so very reassuring.
There is a solution. Alam mo naman talaga, it's a collaboration of everybody here in the energy business more so. We should not be fighting with each other. We should be collaborating with each other and helping the government meet the meet the energy needs. You know, that's how it is. It's not about competition. It's now talking about working together, especially with the government, specifically the Department of Energy.
Yun. So I want to backtrack a bit. You were talking about your 30 years, enjoying the past 30 years doing your job. And I want to ask, I know it's not a very easy job. Maraming challenges yan and everything.
Yeah.
But what do you find most fulfilling about it? But before you answer that, we'll just pause for a short break.
Okay.
Iba ng panahon, dami ng bago ngayon. Pati ang mundo natin, well, nagbago na rin. Buti ang magbayad, bigger, better na. You can buy it to centers, pati sa mga partners may online pa at app. You can buy it with your fingers, still don't remittance and more. Online shopping, you can buy it all. Di magpadala, you can buy it all. Anumang pera transaction, you can buy it all.
Sabayan ang pagbabago ng mundo for all your pera transactions, all new Bayad.
Araneta City, home to the country's first indoor shopping mall, the world's original Thrilla, and the first ever Bini Bini pageant. Now a place for your first win, your first catch, your first home, your first big break, your first date, and even your first love. Araneta City, the city of firsts.
And we are back with Belinda Racela of UC38. So,
Yes.
Belinda,
Hi.
you were
Yes.
just about to tell us about the upstream energy industry and why you love it so much.
Why I love it so much.
What do you find most fulfilling about your job, your work?
It's knowing that I have a part in lighting 1 out of 3 bulbs in Luzon or 1 out of 5 bulbs in the whole country.
Wow.
Mhm.
Knowing that you are improving the lives of many people, even without them knowing it,
Mm,
knowing that you are part of it is very rewarding for me.
mm,
So that's what it is to be in the energy sector. You improve the lives of people, you make it better, you make even enhance
mm.
because of providing energy in your homes.
I see. But it must be filled with ano rin, pressure and stress, or is it not? Am I assuming?
It is. It is. It is because again, as you see, the time to you have to be patient. The time from discovery to commercialization and during operation, there are a lot of challenges. So we're talking about facilities out there, 80 kilometers away from the seashore, in deep water, wells that are in more than 1,000 kilometers, 1,000 meters, or 1 kilometer,
Mhm.
1 kilometer deep. It's that's a lot of pressure. That's a lot of pressure, and literally and figuratively. So you have to take care of these facilities.
Mm,
Now, how do I manage the pressure?
mm,
By surrounding myself with the best people,
mhm,
you know, and that's how it is. Just to let you know,
mm,
the people in my team have been on average has had 20 years of experience
mhm,
in the upstream energy business.
mm,
So, we are a capable, experienced team
mhm.
in UC38. Now, it just so happened that we are all women.
Oh,
Oh.
talaga?
Mhm.
Just so happened, it's not by design,
Uh,
nor was it planned. It's
mm,
just how it evolved.
Mhm.
So we have all of us have been working for international companies before,
mm,
and international oil companies before, and that's where our experience have been. And what's with international oil companies?
mm,
Gender is not an issue.
mm,
It's
Mm.
always about skills.
mm,
It's all about your experience and your mindset. And if you have all three and you have a position that is available to you, then it doesn't matter if you are male, female, doesn't matter at all. So that is how it evolved. UC38 before Udena, 20 years ago, it
mm,
all started with uh, being led by an expat
mm,
with the support of expat and Filipinos. And then it became a Filipino led with expats and Filipinos. Then it became all Filipino. Then it became all Filipina. So it's just so,
Great.
it's just so it's how it happened. And yeah, Udena might have been surprised a year ago when they took over and they said, "Wow, this is an all Filipina team," but that did not change how they saw us. It did not change how we work.
mm,
They saw that we are a good fit
mm,
as we aligned very well to Udena's vision of being an indispensable partner in
mm.
nation building, but in the energy space.
In the
Mhm.
energy. How many are you in your team?
We are now 9. We
Okay.
have added more people. We started out with 6 or 7. But as we added people and getting to hire more people, it just so happens that still the successful candidate is a woman. So it
Mhm.
just so happened
Oh.
it's really. not by design. It's something that I advocate for, that you focus on skill set, attitude, and experience, and fit into the team.
Belinda, geothermal, you said that geothermal energy and natural gas are safe, okay, and
Safe
renewable.
and clean.
Yeah. And Malampaya started this in 2001 lang. Ano yung saan tayo kumukuha ng energy noon, at ano yung in the near future, are there other sources that your company can tap?
And that's what we are praying for. First off, where do we get the first on the geothermal side? We are naturally gifted with geothermal resources. So we are thankful for the government that it has given incentive for renewable energy to prosper in the country. For natural gas, we have not been as successful to find another Malampaya. And that is currently our mandate, is to look for, or our aspiration is to look for and develop more indigenous. That's what, when you say indigenous, it's ours. It's ours, atin yan. Indigenous sources of energy. So that's what we are looking for. We hope that a big percentage, hopefully natural gas takes a bigger percentage of our energy needs, even in the future.
And it's all underwater.
Malaki-laki.
Nasa tubig po siya, wala po siya sa land.
So far, marami pa tayong kailangan isipin. Meron ding on land, meron ding marami rin na under deep water. Kailangan ko sabihin deep water kasi nasa deep water talaga ang so far ang palagay namin nakikita natin.
Okay.
Dean, do you have a question?
Yes, may phone-in question lang ako.
Naku, phone question.
Oo, eh. Kasi we were talking about you being an all-woman team, and then just so happened that way, di ba? So, how do you feel about the ranking of the Philippines as one of the most gender-neutral countries in the world?
Okay.
Is there anything else that a global woman should aspire for?
Wow naman.
Yan ang aking phone-in question.
We should aspire to make a difference. In whatever we do, we should just aspire to make a difference. Any small thing that we do for others and to make others better is something that will have a ripple effect in the society, and that is my belief. It does not need to be in a grand scale.
Okay.
That we have to do. We just be kind to others, be kind to ourselves, and that will have a ripple effect to others.
Ganda.
I hope that answers the phone-in
Yes.
question.
It's very nice.
Ang bigat ng question niya.
Parang ano, di ba? Pageant question.
Follow-up. Follow-up ka ba?
Yeah,
Diba?
no.
Oh.
Kasi parang na-encourage lang ako to hear you say that in your line of work, parang it doesn't matter what gender you are, di ba?
Yes,
Yes.
it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter. It's a misconception. It's a misconception, actually, that
So I think that would
women can earn.
Oh, that would encourage a lot of female students to pursue work in the energy industry, di ba? Kasi hindi
Yes,
sila
I hope so.
they won't get intimidated by the thought of or mga misconceptions about the industry. Pero for you as a woman, what are the advantages of working in this sector for you? Anong qualities ng babae ang nagagamit talaga? Aside from patience, as you mentioned kanina.
Naku, really? I've never given that a deep thought because again, it's a non-issue.
Yes.
Non-issue really. It's really it's being able to speak up say what's on your mind, and be a contributory factor in whatever endeavor that you are in. So there is no advantage to being a woman. There is also no disadvantage. It's up for you to put out your skill set out there and show them what you can do. And it is the same for any individual who gets into any project, so to speak.
Oh, I
Right?
like that. I like that answer a lot.
But is it true that, well, personally, I find women have an advantage over men in running like a corporation or company because yung pagka-mother instinct, does it play a
A
role
role.
or no?
Well, maybe I would like to think I'm very nurturing. I
That's the
talk
word.
about nurturing, like even with malampaya. I see it. I need to nurture it, take care of it, make sure that it grows, and that's my mindset. Together with the rest of our partners and our regulator, the DOs. We have a lot of challenges, and if nurturing it, as you would say, as being related or associated to being a woman, then okay, I will accept it. But there are a lot of men out there as well who are very nurturing also. So again,
Good point.
it's not an issue.
Not an issue. Okay.
But all of us, you just have to hold our hands together and just make sure that we are doing the right things at the right time.
Okay.
Agree.
Now, you're gonna like this question. Tell us about Belinda when she's not looking for energy.
What gives
When she's
Belinda
not running
energy?
the company. Yeah.
Yeah. What gives you energy?
Yeah. How do you find the energy to, when you're at home? Tell us about your family life as a private person.
Nako, I am a wife, a mother, a mudra to my dog Ewok.
Mm.
I'm a sister. I'm a cousin. All these roles. That's who I am. I'm not. I don't think I'm any extraordinary person. We're doing the same things. It's nothing really exceptionally extraordinary with me. I just do my best in any role that I take on. That's I hope whoever is the recipient of
Mm-hmm.
my
But do you,
time and will be feeling the same way.
but how do you like, what's your
Relax.
recreational activity at home? Do you like,
Gardening.
yeah, do you cook a particular dish? Do you listen to, do you
Music.
do Netflix binging?
Yeah, I do Netflix binging. I have
Yun.
to admit that's a guilty pleasure.
Anong show?
Oh, yun.
Guilty pleasure.
Do you watch K-dramas?
It's something that you do. But one thing for me that I don't cook so
Okay.
I will clean the dishes, I do the laundry.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I'm very thankful to my dentist husband who takes care of our kitchen and
Okay.
our everyday needs.
Mm-hmm. Do you miss your kids? Like your children?
Yes, because my son is here with me now. He has been studying outside the country for some time. But my daughter is still outside the country. I miss her very much. So yeah, so she's hopefully she can get home after the pandemic. Pandemic allows it. Conditions allow it.
Okay.
Okay. Pero anong pinapanood mo sa Netflix?
Oo.
Curious lang.
Oo.
Curious
Oo.
Oo eh.
Uh-huh.
I am addicted to K-drama.
Yun!
I have to admit, I just find it, they are exceptional. So
Oh, okay.
I am great. It's just It's something that it puts my mind at ease during challenging times.
What do you like best about it? Yung stories or the way they make it?
Yeah.
It's the overall thing. It's the overall. Their attention to detail has amazed me really. From music to language to cinematography, direction, their acting, the story, how they lay out the story. Naku K-drama class na to. Di ba si
Oo,
may
talagang
K-drama class daw.
pinagpaguran talaga nila yan para makarating nila yung ano na yan.
Level of
That's
Yeah.
right.
quality.
Oo.
Yeah.
It's like Malampaya
Hopefully,
took 10 years. Parang gano'n.
yes,
Baka maibalik
exactly.
natin.
Exactly.
Alright.
Totoo yan. It,
Takes time.
if there's a story of Malampaya, the people of Malampaya, behind Malampaya, it's really a story of from the discovery to commerciality and even the new development back in 2013 with the new depletion compression platform. It's really the story of resilience, perseverance, and innovation for the people of Malampay. I have to commend the people of Malampaya, of those on the ground who continue to work endlessly and safely and reliably to bring power to the country. You know, talagang every attention to detail, just like the K-drama, no? They really make sure that we are getting power and energy and fuel for us to be comfortable. Now, my hope is that we can do this in every corner of the Philippines. You know, that is still the aspiration. But this cannot be done by Udena alone. It has to be in partner with the government and other players in the industry.
Yeah, as I understand it, ito na yung issue ng energy security, di ba?
That's
It's
right.
something that
Oo.
many countries around the world are aspiring for as well.
Mm-mm.
What exactly is energy security? So, just for our viewers, understanding.
In simple words, energy security is that when your supply meets demand. As simple as that.
Okay.
No, when your supply meets demand. And unfortunately, in the future, wala tayo. There is a gap.
Okay.
In fact, we might have, there is a need, not might, there is a need for flexible generation up to about 1,500 megawatts in 2022 and about 4,000 megawatts in 2027. Now, existing clean and sustainable energy supply cannot meet this demand. And this is challenging our energy security.
And that's
Now, also,
Okay.
ito lang, if you just can give me some time to explain a little bit more. Our country's natural gas industry is very small because there's only one. There's only one, and that's Malampaya.
Malampaya
That is
lang.
where indigenous natural gas is supplying 3,200 megawatts of generation in Batangas. Now, as I mentioned earlier, it is in the decline and needs additional field development and exploration. Now, again, as I mentioned also, it takes a lot of years to build energy infrastructure. So us in the Malampaya team, we are proposing that we leverage on Malampaya's success. Now, there are several things that needs to happen to be able to do that, to help out in this shortfall, to close this shortfall in the near future. We really need the license extension to be granted so that we can plan for longer investment. We need to have a way to invest on innovative solutions like regasification facilities in Manampaya. And anything to do with energy should be projects of national significance. And that is where all of these we need the support of the Department of Energy.
Mm-hmm.
And we're talking with Department of Energy naman. So they know exactly what needs to be done.
But
So
where are we at
that's
this
good.
point in terms of energy security, just to be clear about?
Uh, there is a little bit of a strain,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
but so far Malampaya hopes to be able to cover for some shortfall or for some shortfall that some of the power plants may not be able to provide in the near future. And also the demand a little bit has gone down because of the pandemic. So kung before we were reaching about 12,000 megawatts need, ngayon nasa mga 10,000 and 9,000 megawatts tayo. Sometimes bumababa pa tayo to 7,000. But some of the power plants in the grid have shut down. So ang pool na naman yan sa Malampaya. So hopefully we meet all those energy needs at time and then when needed.
Mm-hmm. Is Malampaya looking beyond like other places, or what about solar energy? Is it
Hydro, meron ba ganun?
enough to, because I am I right that there are a lot of people now who are like in specific houses and even in companies, factories
Solar
using
energy.
solar energy.
Yes, solar is, of course, solar is there, and I'm glad that it is available to even to consumers, not directly to consumers. Currently, we are focusing on natural gas.
Natural, yes.
Yeah, UC38 or the Dennis team in Manampay is focusing on natural gas, and that is our space as of the moment because we're looking at really filling the gap
Mm-hmm.
of what we see of about 1,200 to 1,500 megawatts in the very near future.
How very near is that?
Yeah.
What is the time frame we're talking about?
In next year.
Oh.
So,
As I mentioned,
ganun
as I
pala
mentioned
yung
earlier, kaya let's go,
urgent.
diba?
It's an urgent,
We're-
important
Yeah.
matter.
we are encouraging everybody to support, the DOE in making sure that and all the energy players to put our heads together and say, okay, let's go, let's do this.
So, parang,
Yan ang battle cry ko eh.
what is
Let's
the
do
block?
this.
Ano yung obstacles right now? Why aren't you getting there yet?
Currently, with Malampaya, the production term and the contract will expire in 2024. We're working with the DOE. The consortium is working with the DOE to hope to extend that that license, and so that we can, as I said, leverage on the success and the infrastructure that Malampaya has.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess DOE knows the importance.
Alam.
How vital
Yes,
it is.
they know the importance. They really know the importance of it. So, and we are, we're, as I said, hand in hand with the DOE also to make sure that this happens.
Belinda, do you believe that there are other, I mean, that you said that natural gas is limited? I mean, as far
Yes,
as
it's a
our
finite
supply,
source of energy. It's
Pero
a finite
may
source of
makikita
energy.
tayo. Somewhere down there.
Somewhere down there.
Sana. So we'd like to, and that's why we need to do take action right now, right? We have to take action right now to look for those sources of energy, and what we need is really support from the government because it's very capital intensive. So the support of the government is very important. Not only the Department of Energy, but all departments like the Department of Energy, the Department of Finance, to help us out to make it all successful. Kasi hindi talaga kaya ng isang company lang.
Oh, okay.
This is a public and private partnership that we need to do. So, hopefully, panawagan ko nanawagan na ako.
Kung may pera lang ako, sama
Let's
na ako.
go!
Oh.
Let's do this.
Asa na yung ano
Oh.
natin, hard
Just to
hat.
let you know, in Malampaya, it took, including the power plants, close to $4.5 billion at the time, 20 years ago, to build Malampaya. So
Okay.
this is not, it's a very capital intensive business, very high barrier to get into. So all the support is needed to make it happen.
Yeah, and everybody will benefit,
Yeah.
diba? The whole country.
Exactly.
And it's also profitable.
Exactly.
Is it profitable?
Exactly. Well, it should be economically viable because you're in partner with the government. So all these projects and energy will be in partner with the government. So we should make sure that we are able to contribute to the revenues of the government. Just like what Malampaya has done in the past 20 years.
Yeah. So parang, do you feel a sense of urgency for the future?
Oh,
About
yes.
this.
Very urgent. Let's go.
So, which leads
Sige,
us to...
gamitin ko na. Fighting.
Ayun.
All right.
Di ba? Let's go.
Why is there a sense of energy, of urgency for energy?
It's because of what we see as a gap in the power demand and supply. Now that gap we see widening in the future, and it is not an clean, indigenous, sustainable energy. As of the moment, it is not enough to fill in those needs at the state that as it is now. So we have to develop our indigenous sources of energy, which includes renewables, to help our country. We have to be self-sufficient. Part of being sustainable is being self-sufficient. We cannot always depend on imported fuels. For a short time we can, but not for a long time. That is not sustainable. So we have to have a program that will focus on sustainable energy.
All right. How would you encourage more women to join the energy?
Join the fight.
Although you're an
To join the fight.
Oh, you're all women now there. Okay.
It's being an optimistic person, I see the energy space to change positively in the near future. There will be a lot of action with your support and with this program support. The awareness increases with regards to our energy needs. And so to the young women out there, it is time. When I say young women who think like women, who feel like women, who look like women, come join us in the challenge of looking for
I get it.
clean, sustainable, reliable energy in the Philippines. This is, we are made for this, and we can do this.
Okay, very encouraging, no? Naintindihan ko yung mga sinasabi niya.
Okay. All right.
Talaga, that's good. Thank you.
Okay, we're wrapping up, but before we end the show, we'll have another short break.
Okay.
Good morning, sir. How may I help you?
Bakit kailangan ko pang pumunta sa bangko?
Kung nga naman, sir, ba't kailangan pong pumunta sa bangko?
Why not get a UB app so you can do all these without going to the bank? Bank the way you live. Union Bank.
Ang Philippine Offshore Gaming Operators o POGO ay isang legitimate business entity na nagbibigay serbisyo sa offshore gaming para lamang sa mga manlalarong nasa abroad sa pamamagitan ng internet. Ang mga serbisyong handog nito ay katulad ng casino games at sports betting na pwedeng laruin kahit wala sa casino. Sa Pilipinas, walang POGO operators. Tanging POGO service providers lamang dahil nagaganap ang mga laro sa labas ng bansa.
And we are back, Poch, with
Yes.
a
Very interesting conversation.
woman of energy,
Yes.
woman of power, Belinda Racela. So we've been having a very interesting conversation
Yes.
with you, Belinda, and we wish we
Thank
had more
you.
time. But of course, we have to say goodbye for now. But before we do that, would you like to say a few words to our viewers?
Yes, if I have a couple of messages, if I may. Now, first off, to everyone out there, be safe, be healthy, and should you need to go out, double mask, use your face shield, and wash your hands as often as possible. Also, in the energy space, summer months have come in. Conserve energy, as Poch reminded me. Yes, please conserve energy, uh, uh, and make sure that you are not wasting energy but conserving it. And finally, as to the energy sector, just I would like to make this final statement to the energy sector that as we move forward to ensure the continued success of Malampaya with the consortium, the ultimate goal is to actively and significantly participate in the government's aspiration to meet the forecasted energy demand when and where it is needed. Now, this aligns well with Gidena's vision to be an indispensable partner in nation building. Gidena's entrepreneurial mindset and team's strong technical, commercial, and operational know-how puts Gidena's Malampaya team well placed and well equipped to support the vision to continue to power the nation with safe, reliable, and sustainable energy by looking for and developing indigenous clean resources of energy in the Philippines. So maraming salamat po. I hope that that encourages everybody to come to the energy space.
Yes, thank you very much, Belinda, for a truly enjoyable and enlightening afternoon talking with you. And we hope you enjoy the rest of our day. We'll say goodbye for now. This has been Dina Ventura,
Watch Concepcion.
and this has been Spotlight.